Hello, everybody. Rachel and I are celebrating our 4-year wedding anniversary, December 19th. It's just now October 24th. It's Thursday, maybe the 23rd, I don't know. But anyway, my super cool wife was like, hey, let's go to the dunes and ride the quads. We'll let the kids stay with Grandma and Grandpa. I thought, awesome. I have a good wife. That's worth celebrating. So this is her Raptor 250. Pretty cool little quad. It's got a live clutch on it. It's not an automatic clutch, so you actually have to use the clutch and gear shift. And it's just a 250, but it's only a 300-pound bike. It's been widened on the front and the rear and raced a little bit, but it's perfect for Rachel. Rachel's about 100 pounds. She's tiny. She makes me feel tall, 5 foot tall. So it's a perfect bike for her. 300 pounds, she can throw it around. It's got plenty of power. It'll pull the front wheels off the ground if you want to wheelie it and do all this. She's ridden it on dirt. We haven't had it out at the dunes or anything like that, but we want to take it to the dunes. The only thing is I had to replace the clutch plates in it. So I took the casing all apart, had all that going just as you would textbook to do it. Everything was going great. Casing, everything came off. All the bolts were good. Pulled the foot peg off. Took the heel guards off. I've kind of got this just tied up, out of the way for now. But on putting it all back together, there's a pressure plate inside of here with 5 bolts in it that holds the springs in for your clutch assembly. And I decided to use my torque wrench to do everything like you're supposed to from the factory. It said 6.5 foot-pounds of torque on each of those 5 bolts inside of there, and I'm showing our son Samson, a teachable moment. Hey, here's how you use the torque wrench. Here's how it clicks. Click, 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 click. 5th one, it just keeps turning. The bolt head falls off onto the ground, broken, and leaves me in a heck of a bind. I don't know where the bolt head's at. It's in here somewhere. But anyway, so now what? We've got a trip planned. I've already told work I'm going to take Friday off, and our quad's down. I ride a Yamaha 450R, so I've got it over there, and we've got our kids' quads, a 125, Yamaha Grizzly, and a Polaris 50, which is not going to work, out at the dunes for my wife. So, what do? Well, let me back up here. Back to the torque wrench. I called my parts shop here in town. We're in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I called K&N Power Sports. They're awesome. Talked to the guys out there. Told them what I did here. I was having a teachable moment with my son, and it did not go so well because I broke it because of this huge torque wrench. Torque wrenches allow you to adjust to so many foot-pounds of torque. So you can see on there's, where is it? 80, 70, 60, 50. This will adjust down to 5 foot-pounds of torque. But talking to my guys at K&N, they laughed and said, yes, there is, on the internals here, never use a full-size torque wrench. They make one that's small. It's ounces per foot instead of foot-pounds. Yeah, so if I'm saying that right, but it's a lot smaller and it's way more accurate. These are not accurate on small, small applications like this. You will break something like I did and learn the hard way. So now we have to order a clutch boss and pull the clutch boss out of here and do all this. Long story short, unfortunately, this little guy is not going to go to the dunes, and Rachel and I were pretty bummed out. Tuesday night, stayed up till about 11:30, and it just wasn't looking so good. And we're thinking, what are we going to do? Well, that's until this guy is taking care of us. So lesson learned on the torque wrench and doing that. K&N's going to fix this up for us. We're going to put it on the trailer and haul it off, drop it off with them today to have them go ahead and fix it while we're out of town. I'm going to go ahead and get mine ready. Battery's charging right now. I've got to put paddles on it. I'll be doing that shortly. I called a friend. I was telling him about my woes with that and my teachable moment as a dad. And he laughed and said, yeah, I've been there. I said, hey, I need a couple flags. You got any flags I can borrow? I've gotten rid of mine several years ago. It's probably been 10 years or more since I've been to the dunes. So he hooked us up with some flags, and I said, hey, while you're at it, do you have some paddles for Rachel's quad before this ever happened. Yeah. He said, come get some paddles. I'll hook you up. And he said, why don't you come take my Raptor also? I was like, wait a minute. He bought this Raptor. It was brand new, 2010, 700R, fuel injected. Bad boy. Super killer quad. And I was like, no way. I don't borrow people's stuff just because if something were to go wrong with it, I'd feel horrible. And then that puts everybody in kind of a bind. So wasn't really even thinking about it. I was thinking, we'll just get this fixed. After the bolt broke, kind of changed my thinking on that. So at the moment, I thought, well, we just got this. This is a Scrambler, Polaris Scrambler 500 4x4. It's a 4-stroke. It is huge. Look at the ground clearance under this thing. You can practically drive a go-kart under it. It is huge. There's a paddle tire next to it. Look at that clearance. That's a big paddle tire. So we're gonna take this guy out and try it. If you've ever wondered how a Polaris Scrambler 500 4x4 will do at the dunes, we'll let you know. We're gonna go ahead and take this thing. It's big, it's fun, it's safe. The downside is it is extremely heavy. This is a 600-pound four-wheeler, and it is big. But it's got plenty of power. As you know, if you ride safe, you shouldn't have any issues. So we're thinking we'll just take this. I'll ride it. Rachel can ride my 450 if she wants. It's lower to the ground, a lot lighter, and maybe safer. Or she can ride this. She's a good rider. So that's the plan. Well, remember how I said that one guy took care of us, the man up here? Super cool. As I'm going to our friend's house, I won't mention his name, but he's hooking us up with some flags to put on the quads and maybe some paddles, which he ended up saying, here, take these. These are Scat Track Haulers Smooth Buffs. Extremely awesome straight cuts. The straight cuts allow for a lot better of a takeoff in the dunes than an angle cut. Angle cuts allow you to slide and do big power slides in corners, which is fun, and they have plenty of good grip and takeoff, but they don't hook up nearly as good. Look at the scoops on these compared to that. So I'm gonna put a pair of these on for Rachel's quad because she'll have a lot easier time getting on top of the sand versus playing around with those. They're both really good paddles, but the thing about these, like I said, they're extremely light. This tire weighs nothing, and that's a big tire. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 paddles on here, which gives you a whole lot more digging as your tire spins and gives you a lot better traction. I didn't know that about paddles in the beginning, but I do now because I've been out there a little bit. Anyway, good friend hooks us up with all that. Before any of this even happens, and I'm talking to him about paddles and flags, here's the fronts. These little guys are significant to my buddy. Just seeing those like does something for my heart, just thinking about him. He always rode with these on his quad, and he's still here with us, thank God, but his situation has changed a little bit, and he wanted to bless us by saying, hey, just take these out and use them for now. So he gave us a full set of fronts and 2 full sets of fronts to use for Yamahas and rears as well. Our Yamaha's out, but again, this guy and our friends taking care of us. So my friend says, hey, before you even think about going out there and putting your wife Rachel on this big heavy scrambler, he said, that's dangerous. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, but Rachel's a good rider and she's not stupid. She'll be fine, or she can ride mine, right? He said, that's dangerous, man, don't do that. Before you even think about that, come get this. I said, what? And he said, come get my Raptor. I about freaked out, y'all. This is a 2010 700R fuel-injected Raptor that my buddy has taken pristine care of. It's a little bit dirty right now, but you can tell it's nice. He's got flex handlebars on it, cool grips, aftermarket bumpers, Kenda cutter tires, Tusk racing Nerf bars. It's a special edition. He's got guards, 700R. I remember riding with this guy at the dunes years ago and seeing this super cool dash on this thing. And this is a fast bike. It's a fun bike. But he said, come and get this. It's lower to the ground. Excuse me, my nose is running. I've been out here. It's lovely Oklahoma weather, allergies. But he said, come get this. And I would have never even considered it, y'all. I don't typically want to borrow stuff from people because if it were to break or something were to happen, it just puts you both in a bad spot. But he mentioned this before I ever even talked to him about this guy having the clutch issue. So I told him a couple days ago I was coming to pick up the flags and the paddles, and he sends us home with this last night. So Rachel's first trip to the dunes was going to be riding a Raptor 250. Now is going to be riding a Raptor 700R fuel injected bad boy. And I'll be riding my YFZ 450R. We'll have 2 full sets of paddles on these guys. I was going to try to put a set of paddles on the Polaris, but they don't fit. But I think we're going to be okay. That thing's a tank. And so that's how our trip's going. I'll do some wrench work, take some pictures, and do some more video as this trip gets going. Let me run inside here and see if I can find my wife. We'll see how she does at the dunes. Like I said, we just got moved into our new house. Here's my wifey right there. Hey, I told everybody we're taking a trip to the dunes. It's our 4th wedding anniversary. Your name is Rachel. You're my wife. We've been married 4 years, and you're getting ready to ride a Raptor 700. So what do you think? Any comments?
I'm excited. This is the best thing ever. Riding together is what we love.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so there's the wife, Rachel. We'll come back to you some more video. Here is our house. This is Woody. What do you got to say about it, Woody? Norman, our dog, already got taken to doggy daycare. Yeah. Poor guy. I'd introduce you to him. He's cool. Woody's cool too. But, all right, so back to the garage. For me, I'll start putting paddles on. I got to go get my trailer hooked up and start getting our tails loaded. But just wanted to share some of this video and adventure with you guys. I've never done a video like this, but I'm trying to figure out how to put hashtags onto it and attach this to YouTube. We are wanting to start racing more as a family. Sammy rides a Polaris 50 and is riding with Oklahoma Cross Country Racing Association, OCRA. And, you know, we hope to do more of this kind of thing, post some videos and share what we're doing with you guys. Maybe we can even pick a sponsor up along the way. I thought I had an Okra sticker over here somewhere. I can't find it. Like I said, my garage is a mess right now because it's just not organized. But anyway, my name's Shane, and thanks for listening. We'll be in touch with you guys as we get more going on here, but I've got to go wrench, start putting all this together. So we'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.